Hey, hey, good looking. What you got cooking? How's about cooking something up with me?
Hey folks, Crazy Steve here. What's going on? How you doing? Today what we're going to do is we're going to make a pulled pork recipe using one of the 4 salsas that would go with it. We're going to do it in 4 different types over the next 4 times. I have our Hot Mesquite fire roasted salsa. I got a green salsa made with a tomatillo. It goes great with roast pork. It's a totally different flavor. Our newest concoction is a cranberry habanero. We're going to do that one other time. It's got a nice tart and sweet flavor. Goes good with pork. And then the mango raspberry. But today what we're going to do is we're going to stick with our traditional, which is a mesquite fire roasted salsa. We're going to mix that in with the pork with a little bit of lime juice, a little extra onion and some extra jalapeno, give it a little extra kick, and then we're going to go from there. One of the things, you know, obviously you've seen me out doing shows or, you know, at farmers markets or some of the supermarkets that we're in. I'm always talking about using one salsa or another for a certain type of dish. What I wanted to do is, I'm not looking for a salsa that just is good with chips. Obviously you could try it with chips and it's great, but we're so busy in our lives. What I was looking to do is create a salsa that could also be used as a marinade, glaze sauce, things of that nature. So you could actually go into the kitchen within like 5-10 minutes, prep this thing, throw it into a crock pot, throw it in the fridge, marinate it overnight onto the grill it up, and you got some great flavor without a lot of futz in the kitchen, because we're all too busy, but we do like good food. And you know, that was a lot of the back behind on some of these sauces. We're starting off with a piece of about an 8.5 pound piece of pork butt. We're not going to use this all for one recipe. I'm going to cut it up and use it for a couple different recipes, but we're going to start from there. What you want to do first is trim off some of this excess fat. The fat is good for flavor. It also makes it moist and stuff, but obviously too much is not too good for you. So you know, we're going to trim off some of that so it doesn't go in. We won't have to skim it off later. Alright. So now you got, you know, halfway decent lean. Like I said, I don't want to cut off too much fat. It has really nice flavor. What I want to do is now cut this thing into pieces. So I'm going to make this into like 3 sections for 3 different types of pulled pork. We're not going to do them all today. We're going to do one today, one tomorrow, and then one the next day. Each totally different flavors. Today, like I said, we're going to do the traditional mesquite fire roasted salsa. One of the things we do is we fire roast our tomatoes and add a natural mesquite smoke to them. Gives it a real unique flavor. Really nice guy. Gives it a barbecue without being like a hickory flavor. More of a Southwest type flavor than anything else. We do have this bone that's in here, so we're going to wind up carving that out. There you go. Now they're not going to be obviously absolutely perfectly even, but they're pretty damn close. Okay, cool. Alright, now what we're going to do is it's going to go into the crock pot, and we're going to go from there. So what we have now is 3 different pieces. One we're going to use for today, the other 2 we're going to use for the next 2 days, with, like I said, the other 2 different types of salsa. This is the extra fat that I said we're going to take off. And we're going to work with this one right here, which is our hot mesquite fire roasted salsa. It's got onions, peppers, cilantro, lime juice, a whole bunch of different things going on there. Here's our crock pot. Makes it really easy. I'm not fussing around with it. One of the things we are going to do though is we're going to add some extra onion to it. And a little bit more extra jalapeno just to give it some nice extra flavor to it. Now with the jalapeno, if you pull out the seeds and the membrane that's inside, it takes out some of the heat without the flavor. So now you can, if you wanted to, just use this without the extra onion. You're fine. There's enough flavor going on in this that you don't need it. But you want to get experimental. I use a red onion. I like it more than the Spanish. It's got a little bit more bolder flavor to it, in my opinion. Okay, so we got enough onion in here. That's a good amount. What we're going to do next is we're going to add some lime juice, because our salsa is very, very thick. And you want this thing to cook for about 6 or 8 hours. Some people use vinegar. I like using lime juice. It's a nicer flavor. It's so got a nice acid thing, goes and breaks things down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to chop up some jalapeno and throw that in, as well as the salsa. Okay, so I like the extra heat, so we're going to throw in season everything. But just take a look, I'll show you what I'm talking about. See this white in there? If you take out the seed area and this white membrane that's there. Now you can use gloves, I don't. If you're using habaneros, you definitely want to be using gloves. But there, now you have good flavor without the heat. So you could take, like I said, take that out. Believe it or not, they say that the membrane's got more heat than the seeds do. And you could just chop that right up. Okay, got that there. That goes right into the pot. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this salsa. About 16 ounces should be more than enough for like about a 3-pound piece of pork butt shoulder. It's going to go right into the crock pot. I'm going to turn this on to high. Alright, it's going right in there. Don't break the glass. If you guys want to add anything else, you're looking to add some more oregano or thyme, jalapeno, habanero, anything, I'm not going to yell at you. You know, it's your food. Why not play with it? It's a lot of fun and stuff like that. I'm going to take this now and stir it around. Okay, so now we have the onions, a little bit of jalapeno, and 1 jar of the Hot Mesquite fire roasted salsa in there. It's on high, and what we're going to do is we're going to now take our pork shoulder butt and throw that in there. We're going to coat it up real good, and then let that cook for about 6-8 hours easy in there. Nice and slow. Alright. You want those flavors to go in there. Now, if you wanted to actually take a little extra time, you could take what I just did, the salsa, the onions, a little bit more jalapeno, and the thyme and the lime. Throw that in a Ziploc bag and then throw this whole thing in the fridge overnight before you go cooking it in the slow cooker, which will add a little bit more flavor to it. I don't bring in salt and pepper until later. I want this thing to cook first, and then we can go from there. So we're gonna put the lid on this thing. Alright. Okay, we are now about 3 hours into this, and just to give a look and see what this looks like. That's our pork butt. You can see the sauce is starting to thin out from some of the juices. I did cut off some of the pieces so they could sit more in the juice, get a little bit more tender in there. Got a couple more hours to go, definitely, but it's looking good so far. Alright folks, now it's been about 8-9 hours since we originally started this. I've turned it down to a low. While you're stirring it, you can see it's really breaking up, pulling apart nicely. Came right off the bone, and it's got really nice consistency, nice and thick, real tender. So now what we're going to do is we'll use this on an enchilada. What we do have is a white corn regular tortilla shell. Taking the shredded pork right down, put that right down the center there. Nice, juicy, and hot. Alright. Next we have some shredded cheese that we'll put on. Some light mixed greens. Some more salsa. I'm using the insane version. Get a little bit more heat again. And a dollop or two of sour cream. And we are good to go. Look at that. Gonna be fattening. Oh, that's good. Very good. Alright, thanks very much. Stop by next time. We'll do something totally different. Have a great day.
Hey, hey, good looking. What you got cooking? How's about cooking something up with me?